The McPherson definition of racism is whether or not the victim perceives it as being hateful and harmful towards them.
If you kept interrupting me during the course of this conversation, which you have, and I perceive that to be motivated by the fact that you're from a Muslim background and I'm from a Jewish background, would that make that hate speech?
No.
Exactly. Big difference.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. Dronetek here. So I have an interesting one for you that somehow flew over my radar a year ago when Trigonometry did this interview originally with this guy, Imran Ahmed, who is the CEO of the Center for Countering Digital Hate.
Oh, gay, so gay.
Now, I found this interview very interesting because it is a perfect demonstration of what I'm constantly talking about on this channel, and that is the threat posed by the left, because they always carve out an exception from their own standards for themselves. And what you're going to see in this interview is a very smug, arrogant leftist who clearly is in a bubble and nobody ever tells him he's wrong do exactly that. And by the way, I rarely ask for donations, but it is Christmas time, and quite frankly, things are a little rough at the moment. So if you can spare and help support this channel, it is greatly appreciated. You can find all those links in the description and pinned comment. Thanks a lot.
I have definitely noticed since Elon Musk took over Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, that there's been more anti-Semitic content in my feed and in replies to me, etc. Right? Mm-hmm. And generally speaking, I have to say I'm pretty comfortable with that, because what I've also noticed is that a lot of people who otherwise were not able to say things that they should have been able to say, in my opinion, were being censored, were being banned, etc. Those people are now back on the platform and able to say whatever it is. Men can't change sex, women can't, whatever it is, right? So I think what we're talking about is how do you negotiate the conversation between that tension that's always existed in human communication between safety and freedom. You're grinning at me in a way that tells me you don't agree with what I'm saying.
Oh, I just think it's remarkable that you're willing to tolerate the normalization of anti-Semitism to make a point about trans people.
Excuse me. What?
I'm willing to tolerate people being hateful towards me.
Towards Jews, you just said.
Yes, I'm Jewish.
Right. In order to make a point about trans people.
Not in order to make a point about it. That's not what I said.
I don't think he gives a shit.
In order that people do not get banned off the platform for expressing what is a reasonable opinion about biology or sex or anything of that kind.
So I'm not personally aware of anyone being banned from any platform.
Yeah, but it's different.
So, I don't want the normalization of anti-Semitism, nor do I want people to be bigots against trans people.
Good.
The point I'm trying to make to you is there is a relationship which has been acknowledged throughout the centuries, not just online, obviously, but in all sorts of communication, about the relationship between the amount of freedom that we have on the one hand and the amount of safety that we have on the other hand. When we open up the range of things that people can do or say, we necessarily decrease the amount of safety. That's the relationship that those two things have.
Most people know what hate speech is when they see it, and should be able to.
I don't know that I know what hate speech is when I see it.
And also, do you not feel as well?
It's a shame.
So you could say all sorts. Is Tottenham fans?
What you're doing is desperately trying to find the one or two examples of things in which there is a marginal case where the use of hate speech is just about justifiable.
Fiction can be fun.
Yeah, and you see the consequences, particularly in places that don't have free speech.
Yes.
Right, like England. You know,
where they lock people up for memes and stuff. Literally. Yeah.
12,000 people this year.
12,000?
12,000. 12,000 arrests for social media posts.
I mean, yeah, some of these things you read about it, and it's like literally, someone had a meme on their phone that they didn't even send to anyone.
Right.
What you're doing is desperately trying to find the one or two examples of things in which there is a marginal case where the use of hate speech is just about justifiable. But it's sad to me that you can't define.
No,
Sorry.
Hold on a second. You're misrepresenting what I'm saying. I'm not saying if someone comes up to a black person in the
Again,
street,
rewind and just listen.
good. I hope people do that because they'll see that you're misrepresenting what I'm saying. What I'm saying, I'm not saying if someone walks up to a black person in the street and calls them the N-word, that's not hate speech. I'm not going, oh my God, well, I don't know what that is. What I'm saying is the definition has to include everything that is hate speech and exclude everything that isn't.
Well,
that's what a definition is.
The definition of hate speech, you can go to the absolute fringes of things which may or may not be, depending on the circumstances, or you can just say, for the main part, it's f***ing obvious.
Boy, here we go.
So please don't make a game out of it. The McPherson definition of racism is whether or not the victim perceives it as being hateful and harmful towards them.
Now you see now, you done fucked up, you know that, don't you?
So if you kept interrupting me during the course of this conversation, which you have, and I perceive that to be motivated by the fact that you're from a Muslim background and I'm from a Jewish background, would that make that hate speech?
No.
He's in, boys. He did it. He said it.
It's different. Don't you see that the standard changes when I'm the one doing it? These people are completely deranged. And he proves exactly why a non-authoritarian government can never have hate speech laws, because nobody can agree on what hate speech is. Most of the time, that's going to be whoever's in control of the institutions. And from what we've seen over the past 8 years, hate speech is whatever the left doesn't want to hear. You literally see the "it's different when we do it" mind virus roll out in real time as he tries to explain to Constantine that it's totally not hate speech when he calls him a dick for simply having a difference of opinion.
But my self-perception is that.
No, it's just that you're really slow at talking and my brain's already finished your sentence
But
for you.
my perception isn't that. You walked out of the room, and when you walk out of here, I'm going to turn to these guys and say, well, that was a lot of hate speech, wasn't it?
That's fine. You can say that that's hate speech.
And then you can be prosecuted.
It's absolutely fine for you to say that's hate speech if you want.
And then you can be prosecuted.
If me interrupting you is hate speech, and that's your definition of it, I tell you what, you are being disrespectful to the people who do receive hate speech.
Which is what?
It's
and
not.
Deeply disrespectful. And I warn you that most of your listeners will think to themselves, actually, Constantine's being a bit of a dickhead right now.
That's interesting that you say that, because what I'm doing is I'm stress testing your argument. And the point I'm making to you is a person's self-perception can be manipulated. People can lie about how they perceive their the things that they experience. And sometimes people will use the law against other people when it's badly written. Don't you think that's true?
I do think it's true.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm not really being a dickhead, I'm stress testing your argument.
Bad baby, bad baby.
How ironic that this guy instantly goes to name calling when he's losing the debate, because he already knows he's free to say whatever he wants. He tells Constantine it's not hate speech, yet moments ago he claimed that hate speech was whatever the so-called victim perceived. Oh, but no, the rules suddenly change when he's the one using hate speech.
Another rule for us.
Precisely what makes these people dangerous, because they will use the law or whatever power they have to silence and imprison you, while they have a completely different set of standards that is ever changing to benefit them. Anyway, folks, that's my take. What do you all think? I want you to let me know in the comments, and if you're still here, you might as well hit that like button and subscribe. I do post on a regular basis, so make sure to keep checking back for more. Thanks a lot.